I want to talk about the fires in this state. They're having a big impact on electricity generation. Barbara Hale, there was the rim fire up in Hetch Hetchy in Yosemite was a year or two ago. How much did that cost the city, and are we still dealing with the impacts?
Oh, it cost the city millions of dollars, and yes, we're still dealing with some impacts. We had a powerhouse that was affected modestly, thank goodness. The systems are all up and running. Our water supply is secure. We're not worried about that. But yeah, we've had to rebuild roads. We've had to do a lot of tree removal in order to avoid hazards. We're worried about, one of the blessings of the drought is we didn't have to worry as much about erosion right immediately following the fire. We're ready for water just the same now. But yeah, we continue to deal with the impacts of the rim fire, and our hearts really go out to the folks in the Valley Fire who've been so similarly affected, devastating.
Phil Ting, the whole state's on fire. Seems like that really affects energy infrastructure, power lines, et cetera. You're at the state assembly level looking at that. How can California kind of protect its energy supply from these fierce fires?
Well, I think a couple ways. One is, again, to adopt measures to stop climate change. Obviously, because we have limited snowpack, that's really limiting our water. The other effort, which the governor and the legislature have been working on, is really reducing water consumption. Our water conservation efforts have been amazing. It's wonderful to see, once you set aggressive goals to Californians, how they step up and they've met them. It's extraordinary to see the huge amounts of constriction in water use up and down the state in all different communities, in all different environments, and I think that's one other way. We passed a water bond last year. We're going to need another one probably pretty soon. It was just scratching the surface. We know we need a lot more work to make sure our water infrastructure is being repaired. It's something that we'll be coming back to the voters with.
Hunter Stern, of course, that's good for jobs in a way, but you don't like to see repairing from fire-ravaged areas. How do you see that rebuilding of places like the Valley Fire, the Rim Fire is really tough?
Yeah, it is tough. I was actually up there for a day last week, just as they were starting to ramp up. Our members were placing earlier this week 100 poles a day in that Valley Fire area, and they hope that the electrical work will be done and people will have electricity by and large by the end of this week, tomorrow or Saturday. It's a big operation. It's heartbreaking because some of the guys are working in areas where their friends or families have lost their homes. Our members also work in some of the geysers, the geothermal plants in that area, and one of those were damaged by fire. So it's painful. It is good. It is impressive and important work, and we wish we'd never do it again.